Hello and welcome to another electrifying episode of Kiska Brand Bajega Home Edition. Today on the show, we have the pen man who's amongst the most celebrated and talked about authors, who's also a columnist and has dabbled upon screenplay for Bollywood films as well. Out of his 11 classic published books, 5 of them have been adapted into Bollywood films and has delivered blockbuster hits like 3 Idiots and 2 States. Some of his bestseller books include 5 Point Someone, 3 Mistakes of My Life, The Girl in 105 and Half Girlfriend, and many, many more, and have also been regarded as the biggest selling English language novelist ever in India by New York Times. So bringing to you one of India's biggest author brands, the wordsmith, Chetan Bhagat. Chetan, welcome to Kiska Brand Bajega.
Hi, thank you, Aditya. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you, Chetan. So, Chetan, let's jump right on. You've been a part of renowned institutes, which is IIT and IIM Ahmedabad, which are brands in their own rights. You've also been an investment banker, a columnist, and an author whose books have caused a major age in India, with an entire generation growing up reading your books. How would you describe your brand journey from being an investment banker to India's best-selling author?
It's a very big question, but I'll try to tell you very briefly. But yes, I think the IIT IIM was me trying to be a good Indian middle-class boy, doing what every Indian middle-class boy is told कि चलो पढ़ो भाई engineering करो नौकरी वोकरी लगेगी engineering करते हो तो फिर then they say like you got to do an MBA, that's going to increase your prospects. So it was more part of that journey. Somewhere during that journey, you do activities in college, you do things. I used to write a lot. I used to write for the publications, college publications, couple of newspaper articles, couple of plays, directing plays also. So I was very fond of this storytelling and cultural, not on the sports side so much, but more on the cultural side. I was very active there. And I think somewhere down the line, I wanted to make a mark. I always used to say, I know it used to sound very outlandish at the moment, but I used to say in IIM Ahmedabad, you have an interview. And in IIT you don't, but in IIM you have an interview. And like you said, IIM is a brand and people want to go in there. So I said, I remember saying it in the interview, which I think was a rather immodest statement, but I said, some people go to college and tell everyone that they went to this famous college, and
Right.
Some people make the college famous. So, I aspire to do that. Of course, IITs were always famous, but if you ask one of the most famous, popular IITians, who are the popular IITians, they will say my name amongst many, many accomplished ones like Arvind Kejriwal or whatever. But I think I've always felt that अपना brand बनाना है, अपना brand का बहुत फायदा होता है, and because it's a brand show, I'm mentioning this.
Sure,
And
absolutely.
I think that's why I've always done that, and that's the benefit also I get. That's why book after book is a bestseller, because amongst the youngsters, Chetan Bhagat is an author, but it's also a brand.
Right.
Like okay, his new book is coming, we have to buy it.
Right. And talking about a brand, sure, you're a brand in true sense, right? And you're a celebrated writer. And you've also, I think from a media perspective, a lot of writers conventionally in our country, their faces were not known. Right. And you are
Yes.
somebody who's out there in media, right? Who's out
Too
there
much.
on channels, right? And you're thus truly a brand in every true sense. A large part of the brand also is your attribution or contribution to Bollywood, I would say, right? Because
Yes.
Bollywood gives you that mass reach, which
Scaling,
a
yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
authors probably don't have. But on the other side, a lot of critics, the fact that you're also doing so much of work in Bollywood, right? And most of your films, even before your book is published, I'm sure you have producers lining up for actually buying rights from you as well, right? So there are a lot of critics who bash your novels as well and call you a Bollywood sellout in that sense. So how do you straddle between the two worlds of let's say journalism, which is very, very authentic and pure in that sense, to now Chetan Bhagat, the brand in India?
Yeah, a very good question. And I think I realized very early on that something about my writing, and that's a separate discussion almost, that people love it, but critics don't like it.
Sure.
And I was like, either I can spend my life trying to impress them, or I can make the most of what I have. Is the people who read me, make them happier. In life, we always try to impress the people who are not impressed by us. But we should love the people who love us even more. Why not spend the energy in that? So I said, I'm going to build on what I have. I tried impressing critics. They don't get impressed so easily. I don't know why. So fine. I said, leave this. they don't know what they're doing, because they have destroyed many writers' careers. Many writers have spent their entire careers trying to impress them, and they don't make money, and nobody got impressed. And even if they did, who cares anyway? So I said, I have to reach my readers directly, and I have to be critic proof. Frankly, if the critics were not bad to me, I would have not made the brand so strong.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm telling you. But I thought they will keep saying whatever about me. So I should be doing things which make me critic proof, which is to reach the people directly. So I tried. And during my journey as a writer, social media came. When I started, first book came out, there was no Twitter, Facebook, anything. I was active on social media. I said, I need to be regularly in front of people. So I started doing columns. Let me see what else India's youth needs apart from just interesting stories and funny stories that I write. What else can I do for them? So national issues, there was not enough people talking. Only politicians talk about national issues. So I thought they are important, but you can't have only politicians. You have to have a society where somebody is saying what people are thinking, what youth is thinking. So I thought I can be that. So I started writing columns. And motivation. Youth needs motivation a lot. So I started motivating youth, giving motivational lectures. Then I said, what else can I do? I write English books. People want Hindi and people watch movies. Let me try to move to the movies, because that'll give me the scale, like you said. The other thing you have to realize is some brands spend millions or billions trying to just advertise and build their brand.
Right.
I didn't have any marketing budget. My marketing budget so far has been zero. The entire brand has been built on word of mouth,
right,
and trying to find opportunities which leverages. So, like when I do a book of which converts to a movie, huge recognition comes, and luckily those movies did really well. Like Three Idiots was not just a hit film, a landmark film, or even Two States or Kai Po Che, films that people remember, and because people have read the book, there was a lot of buzz and talking about it. Then people started inviting me on TV, and I said, okay, I'll go. Many writers don't do all this. Many writers, they are scared that people will call them sellouts. I don't think it's a sellout.
Right.
We are not in the paper business. I'm not in the paper business or printing business.
Very interesting.
So why is it that if you write a book only, then you are a real writer? But the moment you come on TV, or like when I'm telling you what I'm thinking and your viewers are watching, this is nothing to do with ideas or originality or creativity or anything. But only when it's printed on paper in a book, then I'm pure. That's a silly way. Unless you work for the printing industry or the paper industry, why should I care? And that's always been my thing, that I'll be adaptive to the mediums. Today, there are streaming platforms. Bollywood was 5-10 years ago. Today, the hottest thing is the streaming platform. Now, I need to be there. They weren't even there before. Twitter wasn't there when I started. I need to be there. So these things, this not looking at it as a sellout, but looking at it as something I need to do to adapt, to reach people,
right,
has made me far bigger than any other writer. So much that today I can even, like right now when we're talking because I'm releasing a book, and we're releasing the book in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Because I have the reach, and I'm one of the few brands who can actually has a lot of readers who buy online. So they just buy from Amazon, Flipkart. So it's okay, even if people are indoors, and has a lot of social media reach, has a lot of media reach. So I can reach people while not actually going and doing a launch, or the book not even being in the bookstores, or the bookstores not being open. We can launch a book. So I think that, call it a sellout or call it adapting to the new world, I don't know.
Amish Tripathi had said that it's a fallacy to think that a good book sells itself. I can give you a long list of books that I think should have been bestsellers, but nobody's ever heard of them. That's a quote from Amish Tripathi. Do you agree with the statement? Also, can you tell us some effective strategies that you've developed to sell your books?
I mean, I kind of agree. I mean, forget books. There are movies,
right,
which deserve to do much more box office, but because of not very good marketing at that time, they never got the numbers. And but when they came on TV later, they were really watched, and people said, wow, what a good movie. So there is an oversupply of content today.
Right.
So no matter how amazing that I don't know which era some of these people are living in, who want to not be sellouts and who don't believe in marketing and say good work speaks for itself.
Right.
It's not like you are the only one, or there is very few. There is literally anybody, anybody can put content today on YouTube, on
Sure.
Instagram. It's like literally full democracy. And people have come up. There are pure YouTubers who have millions of subs. There are pure Instagrammers who have millions of subs, Snapchat, TikTok, everything. So if you are there and others are also there and you want to be seen, you have to be humble enough and admit that I need to create the awareness, and why, what is wrong in marketing? I think the assumption there is that if you're marketing, there's something bad about it.
Okay.
But usually people who are saying that are usually people who are not very good at marketing.
Fair enough. Fair.
So I think India as a nation needs to market itself better.
Right.
You go abroad and all, one little attraction they will have, they will market it so much.
Right. Right.
In tourism wise, and in Delhi, you go on the traffic signal, you'll find a historical monument.
Right.
It's there. It's like that,
True. So let's talk about your book. Your upcoming book, One Arranged Murder, is making waves on social media thanks to the unique marketing strategy adopted by you. You've even released a trailer of the book, which has featured Vikrant Massey. What is the reason behind this?
So I come up with a book every 2 years, roughly, and this one was due to come out in April, May, and we had done some pre-announcement. We had not announced the name or the cover, anything. We just said we are going to announce a book in April, May. And then the whole lockdown pandemic hit and everything shut down. And immediately my publisher said, we it's not even possible right now. And nobody's doing it. People are like, and I said, okay. And now in August, my publisher again said, August, September, we can release it. It's a good time before Diwali. And they said, it's not like the bookstores are completely closed.
Sure.
But they are there, but they are just selling a lot less. All retail is suffering.
Right.
But the online sales are up a lot. So if there was a 50-50 mix of my online and offline retail sales, maybe that 50 has become 60 or 70, the online portion. And the books have become, I don't know, 50 to, it may have become 25, maybe half down or even 20. So if that has become 70 plus 20, that's you're still at 90. So my publisher felt, you know what, you're already at 90 and let's just go for it. I can't travel. I can't do book launch. I can't have a gathering. I have the bookstores are, but we are still doing it. And I think it's partly because they felt I have the social media reach. And actually now that we've announced the book, it's good because we are getting a lot more attention than usual because there are no movies in theaters. There's no cricket matches.
Right.
So there is nothing happening.
Right.
That's proven to be a good decision to do it like that.
Okay. You've spoken about the fact that there is a gap of a couple of years between the release of your books. During this gap, how do you keep your brand equity intact and your readers hooked in the period?
Yeah, that's a good question, and actually people have not asked me that, but so I must compliment you that it's a very interesting observation because that used to worry me.
Sure.
Because to write a book well and to not kill myself, I want a reasonable work-life balance, it does take me 2 years to do it properly and announce it. And what do you do in the middle? What if people forget me? But I've noticed that doesn't happen. Firstly, it doesn't happen. A brand doesn't need to be present all the time.
Sure.
Some brands do, but some don't.
But they might be wanting to be relevant all the time.
Yeah. They don't need to be on top of. The great example is Amir Khan.
Yeah.
Who does very few movies, and he's not in the news.
Right.
Or he's not a big on social media. He's not big on anything. And then you have other examples of a lot of actresses. They're constantly posting on social media, and they are also doing their movies. So both are possible. You can have success both ways. But I realized that it's better to have a balance. Okay. Don't be so available. But yes, for an author, because when Amir comes up with a movie, he comes with a huge marketing budget. So they can spend 30-40 crores promoting Dangal, and everybody in India wakes up again. Oh, okay, that movie is coming. But I can't be that way. So I chose a middle road, which is I do a lot of motivational talks in the middle. So I go around the country. I stay in touch with the audience.
Right.
I post on social media. I wasn't very big on Instagram, but last 2 years we've been good on Instagram. Um, Twitter, I keep posting, and columns. I
Right.
write my newspaper columns. Occasionally, I'll go on TV debates, but they become very noisy, so I don't go. So, but I go on election day, like counting day. Those are fun. You can just actually spend the whole day. There's no need to fight. The results are coming, you know. So those have kept my face in front of the people. Social media has kept my face in front of people. The articles have kept my face in front of people. To the fact that people, yeah, he's kind of still around.
Sure.
And then the movie comes. If the movie comes alternate, and if the movie, and so that kind of does it. And I think over time, once you've been working for 15 years, then you don't even have to do it that much,
Right.
because now I've been there for 15 years, so people know. And I think so I can reduce it also. In fact, it adds a mystique. It's a bit like the company I follow the most actually in my marketing is Apple. I know it's a phone company and or whatever computer company, but their marketing technique is excellent. Whereas they keep a surprise, they come every now and then, but they come with a big bang when they come. So and one, they have fans. I mean, it's a brand with, there are brands, but there are some brands which have fans, and Apple has fans, and that's same. There are fans of Chetan Bhagat books who will wait for the next book and who will buy it.
Right.
And I think that is what I've always aimed to do.
And that's brand equity. That's phenomenal brand equity.
Yeah.
It actually gives you, extreme amount of loyalty, right? For your, as you said, your fans coming up and rushing to buy a book from.
Yeah. Today I did a post. Today my Instagram post says, I don't want people to say Chetan Bhagat is the best writer.
Right.
I want people to say Chetan Bhagat is my writer.
Oh, interesting. Nice.
The connect.
Yeah.
I'm not here to come first in class. The connect. Because if I am their writer, then I announce a book, they will pre-order it because he's my writer, you know, and that is what I want.
Very interesting question. Again, it's a marketing show. We talk about your target audience, right? You're talking about your fans. Now let's come to an aspect of your target audience. You also spoke about your books targeting youngsters, which is a large part of your target audience. Is there a conscious effort to grow that segment, or do you want to now diversify and look at other segments as well?
See, the youngsters are the most active, but I do find people when I go on the plane and all, people do read my books of all ages.
Sure.
They do read, but youngsters read more books. Youngsters have more time. Youngsters are not running families usually. They have a little free time, even though they can also be quite busy. So youngsters will remain. But yes, the columns, all my political stuff, I don't think that much youngsters consume. Those are mainly the uncles who meet me on the plane. बेटे आपका कॉलम पढ़ा था, आपने ये क्यों लिखा मोदी जी के बारे में, ये क्यों लिखा राहुल गांधी के बारे में. So that's a very different, almost like those are two different Indias only, you know.
Right, absolutely. Right.
Yeah, they are more interested. They only know me as somebody who talks about issues, and and then my youngsters are basically who are also who really want to have fun and want books for entertainment. A lot of my audience has grown with me. The people who read my first book, they were in college, but they are now having kids.
Right.
So they are hopefully still with me. And then the new generation is coming. So the target audience will always be the new generation who've never touched a Chetan Bhagat book, because the old ones are still going to be there. I mean, you know, so that's something from a target branding point of view. It's always the new people who I want to pick up a Chetan Bhagat book. And Chetan Bhagat is not as young anymore.
Right.
So that's an interesting thing. But
Right.
because I motivate, because I'm a motivational speaker to them, I can still be relevant to them, because that a motivating person will be older usually.
Right. Okay, let's talk about your associations with brands. You partnered with Ola Cabs in the Ride with Chetan Bhagat campaign in order to promote your novel, The Girl in Room 105, which wasn't too well received by the audiences. Do you believe that the customers perceive authors as not brand friendly? And how do you choose to deal with it?
No, that Ola campaign was maybe not designed the right way. See, just because you're associated with a brand, you can't just mix it. You know, you can't just generally mix it. And it can happen to Bollywood stars also.
Right.
You know, you mix a brand, and but we've had a lot of successful brand collaborations over the years, right from Mercedes to Air France to Huawei. I mean, I was brand ambassador for Huawei in India. It was a phone company who came to India and they took an author as the brand ambassador for the entire brand. And even Shadi.com, I was the brand ambassador. You can look up ads on YouTube, Chetan Bhagat on Shadi.com. So there were. But maybe that campaign, the specific campaign, the nature, the content of the campaign, you can't just mix two things together. And I think that's what is the issue.
So one quick question on that aspect, on the endorsement aspect. What are the factors that you keep in mind for choosing an endorsement? And secondly, when they come to you with an endorsement, do they also expect you to better the script on a lighter note?
I do it sometimes. Whether they ask me or not, I'll do it. I will not because okay, so here's the difference that comes. Two differences.
Yeah.
One is that when there is an author, I can't do 20 brands. I can't do a oil or a face cream and all. I mean, that will not work so well. And so there is a certain association that a certain kind of brand an author should do, and they should be few. They should not be crazy, no matter how popular the writer is. Okay. Secondly, the content has to be good because a writer is part of it. So, I mean, I think the content has to be really, really good. And I think that's something I do. What I try to do, Aditya, is whenever there is a book coming, we say, let's do something which has never been done before.
Okay.
Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't, but at least people remember it and notice it. There was a designer, Masaba. She's a designer. And for Half Girlfriend, when my book came out, she made a Half Girlfriend collection. And there are saris with the Half Girlfriend book cover imagery.
Interesting.
And it was a great PR for her. And for me, it's never been done before. So never been done before. That's what my brand is. It's not so much which brand I'm associating. He will keep doing something which has never been done before, whether it's a trailer, whether it's innovative promotions, whether it's an author who comes on TV and does his own entertainment show or whatever. Something or the other will be new. Expect the unexpected. I think that's my main motto.
Does brand Chetan Bhagat plan to go international? Do you as an author want to be recognized not just?
I wouldn't mind, but I must say I'm not that desperate for it, or even like it's not something I really think about or want, because India is too big. Right. And India offers a lot of scope still.
Okay, we spoke about India. Perfect. A lot of authors, Chetan, especially in the West, have managed to create their own universe of characters and subsequently create a franchise model as well. However, in India, authors are yet to crack this code. Is there any particular reason that you feel why?
Yeah, I think because it's not just because, yes, most best-selling authors will have the same characters like Harry Potter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is also creative satisfaction I want to get when I write. It's not just about selling. And I have always tried to try different themes, different stories, and I try to start with a blank piece of paper. It's more fun for me to do it. And the audience has accepted me because they are just picking up a Chetan Bhagat book. They know it'll be fun. Although this book, 2 characters are repeated. The detectives, Keshav and Saurabh, are the same as Girl in Room 105. So this time, because it's a murder mystery, last murder mystery is the same 2 characters are repeated, although it's not a sequel. So I am building a franchise, if you can call it, of detectives.
Fair enough. Perfect. To quote from your book, Half Girlfriend, Chetan, you're now a half author and a half producer, as you've also launched your production company, Chetan Bhagat Entertainment Private Limited,
yes,
which has started from modest capital of 1 lakh and now has grown to become an enterprise worth over 8 crores. What prompted you to don the hat of a producer, and what's the way ahead with you having achieved such a huge turnaround in such a small amount of time?
It's just growth and evolution. I mean, I started writing books and books to movies, movies as an author, movies as a screenwriter. I did scripts. It's just one life, you got to try everything. Why not? And like you said, that you are good at marketing too. So it's not like I'm just a writer who writes alone in my room. I know how to market a book. So I can market a movie too. If I have multiple skills, if I can do the content and if I know the marketing, I think that's a great role for a producer. I mean, that's all a movie producer has to do other things also they do, but these 2 are the most important. If you can help sell, I mean, that's great.
And we spoke also about OTT platforms, right? With now the advent of Netflix and Amazon, and a lot of other Indian companies also entering into OTT. Any plans of, while you're doing films, any plans of writing web series? Have you been approached?
Yes, very keen on it. I just, abhi Corona has come, so our movements and all are limited. But yeah, that's the next frontier for sure.
Right. So web series and like from your entertainment company as well, you plan to venture.
Yeah, it could be even documentaries or whatever. But I mean, depends where where these things evolve and how Indians want to see.
Right.
But it's still very less. The penetration of it's going to grow double, triple in the next 3, 4 years.
Right. Perfect. Now let's come to the aspect of you being a motivational speaker. We've spoken about that. You've delivered over 300 talks in 75 cities in line with the Chetan Bhagat motivational series. You've delivered motivational talks to the armed forces, the US Embassy, and prestigious brands like Bosch, Deloitte, Hindustan Times, to just name a few. How big a role has motivational talks helped in playing for the brand Chetan Bhagat? And has this happened by chance?
I did become by chance because people started calling me and they said, "Oh, we liked when you spoke, and can you come to our college?" And then I said, "You know what? Are you calling me too much? You start paying me." And people said, "Okay, we'll pay you." And then I said, "Okay, you pay me some more." And then it became a nice little business for me. But it's not just the money. It is a great way to stay connected to India. If I'm giving a talk in Varanasi or in Chennai or in Guwahati or in Jaipur, I am going there. I am meeting people and I am understanding what my India is all about. It makes me a better writer, write better stories,
Right.
makes me understand India better, makes me understand the Indian sentiment better. So
Right.
I think that's the big plus. Plus, if you're getting access to auditorium full of people, they see you, they will never forget you.
Right.
They'll never forget you. If you've ever met an author in their real life, you'll never forget them. Books have touched people, but if they've seen me, and if I've like how many English authors have come to a Jabalpur and given a talk in an auditorium with 2,000 people. So in Jabalpur, I will always have that special bond, and all the kids there will read my books. So it does help. It's like direct, just a direct outreach, you can say. Plus, it makes money. So, why not?
Hey, well, the brand shines, right? Or making money.
No, there are some monetization. It's a balance,
It's a
but
cool
like
one.
it's not like I've not opened a Chetan. I could open a Chetan Bhagat IIT coaching center and people will join, and I can open a Chetan Bhagat engineering college and people will join. So there is a limit, and I think you want to have the brand remains cool. It's not about maximizing, but yeah, I have to. I've never claimed to be a brand which is wants to be poor. I don't want to be that jhole wala writer. I tell India to work hard and aspire for bigger things. I also want to aspire for things. I like to make money, and you should too. Why not?
Well said. Internet, right, which is a huge part of the brand Chetan Bhagat. You're very active on social media. You have point of views on Twitter, right, as well. Now that you're a brand, any do's and don'ts? Do you think twice before, especially the way there is trolling happening? There's a lot of sensitiveness currently that's happening. Do you think twice before posting anything on internet?
I think so.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Right.
It's very rare that I'll impulsively post now.
Right.
Because there's literally millions of followers, and somebody will twist it. They will anyway twist it the wrong way. But if I've thought about it, then I know that how will I defend myself?
Right.
And I may change 2, 3 words that they can't twist the meaning.
Right.
I will clarify it a bit more. So that is something I do now because it's just too much. I mean, the reach of millions is like the reach of a TV channel. So it's like coming in front of a TV channel and saying something. So you will say it carefully, right? So even though it's on my phone and I'm just typing on my phone, I have to be careful.
Sure. We've actually got a very cool segment called Internet Ask Chetan Bhagat. While researching, interestingly, we came across some really engaging and funny fan comments on your page, to which we shall get you to react in our segment, Internet Ask Chetan Bhagat. Right. So Anand wants to know, right, because this is about a tweet which you said, which is why, what do historians do? I'm genuinely curious. This happened, and aspects like that. So he wants to know, why don't you write a book about historians to find out? What is your view to that?
Who will read a book on historians, man? कौन पढ़ेगा वो यार? मेरे पे प्रेशर देख रहे हो आप? मेरी बुक को नंबर 1 बेस्टसेलर बनना है, लाखों बुक्स बेचने हैं, and now I write a book on historians. Who will read it? One tweet created so much drama. My gosh, why? It was a joke, and it was the day after, I think 100 historians returned their award. I didn't even know there are 100 historians in India. I said, why do you need so many? इतने सारे क्यों चाहिए? If one has done their job well, then why do you need others to? So I was a joke, but like I got trolled a lot for this. By the way, this is part of the trolling. He's not really a serious question. He's trolling me.
Perfect. Well said. Next one, please. Uh, Mrinali wants to know what's your key to trend.
Oh, wait, that's an old tweet. And the third one is Chetan Bhagat. That's true. I don't trend as much now, which is because I've calmed down. I trend because I say what is in my heart, and a lot of people don't have the guts to do that. I think I trend because I try to say what needs to be said, and it's often not said, you know.
Well said. Okay. Next one. This got this was a
Huh.
discussion where you judged a dance reality show called Nach Baliye,
Hmm.
right? Where your dance also made national news, right? So,
Huh.
yeah. So, can you tell us a little bit about that? Obviously, on a scale of 1 to Chetan, which is nicely put.
The point is, dude, I am dancing. Is everything in life a competition? Is everything about is dancing about impressing others, or is dancing about expressing yourself? I express myself very well when I dance. Impressing others? I don't know. I'm not saying I need to impress. I think people should just dance. If you are always thinking about I'm good at dancing, bad at dancing, half the people in the world won't dance. Would you rather have that? Just dance, man. Don't think so much.
What was your reaction when Star approached you to judge this show? What was the first thought that came?
There is a missing information in this. Nach Baliye is a show of relationships and dance. The couples are real. And what was happening in the previous seasons was that a lot of fake couples were coming. So they wanted one judge who will grill these couples to check if their love is real or not. And it makes for interesting TV. So I was the relationship judge, not the dance judge. But oh, masti chal rahi hai, abhi haan, Nach Baliye, Chetan Bhagat, theek hai, okay, fine. But from a brand point of view, I did that show because this is one of the biggest shows in the country. And this is the show because of which my face reached every home in India. And everybody knows who Chetan Bhagat is. So you can say whatever. I'm maybe the only author in the world who has done a dance show. But this show I owe a lot to, because this gave me fame at levels unimaginable. And that I've used in my books. It's not like I kept doing dance shows. I did one season once. That was enough. So this was an intense marketing drive for me.
Well said. Okay, the next one. How can Chetan Bhagat be so savage?
Because you got to give it back sometimes. You have to, like Kunal Kamra was trying to make fun of me, saying that, oh, you got trolled. Even I don't get insulted so frequently. I said, well, you have to be someone to get insulted, no? So I think that was enough to keep him quiet. And the internet liked it, because sometimes the trolls like it when you can troll others. So I was like, ऐसा नहीं है, मुझे नहीं आता है, मैं भी कर सकता हूँ.
Okay, that's where the writer in you comes out in full force.
Of course, don't mess with me on words, man. Words में थोड़ा पंगा ले सकते हो writer से. ये तो एक चीज आती है मुझे.
Chetan, usually we have a studio audience who are students from MBA backgrounds, whom we call them as brand violets. But due to the unprecedented pandemic, we have invited a few students from various parts of India via video call who are buzzing with some interesting questions for you to answer. So can we connect to them? So let's start with you, Anish, first. Yeah.
Hello, Chetan sir. It's a privilege to get to speak to you. I've been a big fan of your writing, and I really admire the way you transitioned yourself from investment banking to becoming a full-time storyteller. So my question to you is, in a lot of your novels, you talk about the complexities facing Indian youth, their dreams, their desires, passions, and anxieties. So I wanted to know whether this was a conscious decision because you were targeting them, or is this something that comes naturally to you?
When I first wrote, it happened to be a book on young people and 5 Point Someone and on my own college story. And then I realized that a lot of young people were reading my books, and they are the ones who loved them the most. So I thought, okay, I want to keep this set of people happy. So I kind of started doing more stories that are more relevant to the youth: romance, love, career. These are things, obviously, which the youth thinks about a lot. India is young. 70% of India is under 35 or something like that. So I think it's not like I'm writing for the youth means I'm writing for a small segment. I'm writing for the mainstream. India is youth. So it also allows me to access a very big, you can say, brand, like a very big part of the population. So that makes sense that way also.
Okay, thank you. The second one, please.
Hello, sir. This is Amar here. So I've been following you and your work for last 5 years now, and I really admire your art of storytelling and your dedication for writing. So basically, you have over 21 million cumulative reach across all social media platforms, and you post very regularly about your life updates and book updates. So on this note, what does social media as of now mean to you?
Well, social media, my job as an author is to give my ideas uh, to the world, and the world will then read them. So for me, that is what I try to do, and social media plays a very big role in it. Even now, when my book comes, I use my social media to market the book. That's all I need, honestly. I don't even need to do any other thing, and it's enough. But when the book comes only once in 2 years, the remaining time I use it to tell my thoughts about the country, about the nation, to post my articles that I've been writing, and give a lot of motivation videos, especially on Instagram. It's all about motivation, because even if I can't come to you for the talk in your city, especially now anyway, Corona, I should be able to give you motivation right from my Instagram account. All this is possible due to social media. All you know about Chetan Bhagat today is mainly due to social media. Very few people are actually in my life.
Okay, thank you. Those were the audience questions. One last question before we sign off, Chetan. What's the future for brand Chetan Bhagat?
I don't know if there is a definitely streaming platforms, but other than that, I like it to be unknown. I like it to be uncertain. All I will tell you is it will be unexpected and innovation, adaptation. Things will keep changing. Only then the brand stays fresh. Chetan Bhagat is still fresh, but Chetan Bhagat has been around for 17 years.
Right.
That's a long time. But to keep it fresh, One Arranged Murder is still awaited. And what's the next movie? What's the next book? That freshness comes because of adaptation, constantly reinventing. So they'll be reinventing, maybe to streaming platforms, maybe to the next new thing. We don't know.
On that note, Chetan, it was a very engaging conversation. I had a lot of fun understanding brand Chetan Bhagat and his journey. On behalf of the entire team at Kiska Brand Bajega, we wish you great success and hope that you continue to ignite the flame of change with your words on some of the pressing subjects in our society and keep engaging us with thrilling storytelling. So thank you very much on behalf of everybody at Kiska Brand Bajega, Chetan. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Arvind.
I would also extend my warm regards and love to all our viewers who were a major part of our journey in this home edition of Kiska Brand Bajega. We assure you to be back with double knowledge, insights, and entertainment and continue our journey from our studios post the lockdown ends. This is Aditya Bhatt signing off from the home edition of Kiska Brand Bajega and hopefully meet you soon from our studios. Until next time, stay safe and happy branding.
Hello and welcome to Kiska Brand Bajega. Today on the show, we have someone who single-handedly demolished bowling attacks across the world. She's a woman who has constantly challenged industry norms to produce path-breaking cinema. Her kahani has inspired a generation of people.
Somebody dropped a catch when I was at 4. And then I got 260 runs more. So obviously that guy who, I don't want to name him, he met me at the breakfast tomorrow and he said, I will not be able to land in Sri Lanka, sir.
When I did Kismat Connection and Hey Baby and a couple of films around that period, which fared well at the box office, but where I wasn't liked, the brand was a bit shaky.
Right.
I think because I wasn't being authentic to Brand Vidya.